Super pissed.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session where we're going to be talking about strategies for effective networking when you're at conferences, which we
Yeah.
all do. But before that, do check out channel sponsor, Mr. Randy Rode. The logo doesn't automatically pop up, but I've now put it up right there, right above Randy's own head, and the link is below. But we are both struggling because Randy can't even find his old background.
No, I can't find that damn thing. I don't know where it is.
I can't even get the fucking logo on. Uh, but it just doesn't automatically come on. So that this logo is just it's fucking things up, Randy.
Yes.
Um, but it seems to be a much better platform. It'll take time to get used to it, but we'll see how it goes. But
I know. I gotta. So this is interesting. Did you put? So now I see there's chat. What are you drinking there? What
I
are you
am brew.
drinking? Yeah, a little bubbly.
No. I am brew. It's like uh, I
Beer.
can't describe it. I can't fucking even describe it, Randy. It's like it's it's like juice, but it's the Scottish version. It's like Coca Cola, but the Scottish version. Uh,
Got it.
that's the best way I can describe it.
Got it. All right. So the chats that's going on there. So hey, Solterra, I'm guessing that's Terry or Elizabeth Samuels, but all right, good to see you. Does that just automatically? I didn't have to put that in. Like in some of these other ones, I got to put it in to be able to see the public chats, but I guess that's just there. All right. Hell,
I'm still
there it
figuring
is.
it out, Randy. You're asking the wrong.
I don't know. You got me going with this new platform, so
Yeah, gotta keep
yeah,
you on your toes, mate. Keep the old brain functioning. I
yeah,
felt,
yeah.
felt you were getting a bit too complacent, and yeah,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
both the Samuelses in
From
Hawaii.
Hawaii. What the hell time is it in Hawaii? It's got to be what? It's noon, 9. What is it? 7 o'clock in the morning there in Hawaii? I don't know. I'm trying to think of what it is from my time to Hawaii. I think they're 5 hours behind. It might only be 4. Heck, I don't know. Um, well, anyway, hopefully they're enjoying. They're going on. That's kind of their honeymoon going on right now. They've been together for
Honeymoon.
yeah, it's 7 a.m. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, did you ever take your wife on a honeymoon?
Dude, we had one honeymoon and that's a fucking whack. No more. And I'm only kidding. I, um, no, but
Ay,
I take her on holiday, but what?
funny as hell.
It's not usual for people in the Scotland to go on multiple honeymoons because I'm assuming Terry and Elizabeth have been on honeymoons like when they got married and stuff. But but hey, why not? Why not?
I don't know. I had seen a post saying that they hadn't gone on one, so this is their honeymoon, even kind of delayed, but good for them.
Ah,
Yeah, they
oh,
didn't
these
go
are
on a honeymoon. That's why they went to Hawaii.
Yes, so good for them. I'm happy for them. They're good peeps. That's some of my favorite peeps right there. All right, Holly, good to see you, man. Where you been all my life? Woo!
Been playing with phones all my life.
All right.
God.
So you went deep again on phones. Can you give us an update on the phones?
Um, so I'm gonna turn my computer around and tell me when you see my. You see them?
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
I seen Lonnie building that. I seen the picture.
Yeah, I saw Lonnie was working and building some that shelving out there.
Yeah. So originally when he came, well, so the whole reason why I got back into doing the phone stuff is because of something that was presented on Dark AI. And we wanted to test it. We tested it and we seen immediate bumps. So I was like, all right, let's go back into doing the phones. Um, and I have I have probably a couple hundred Androids, and so I kind of wanted to have a stand, um, because
Mm.
we're scripting so we can control all the phones at one time. but they don't have to be plugged in, but they have to have like a power to them, I guess you could say. So I needed something to put all the phones in, and yeah, Lonnie made that in 2 days. So I am gonna have to have him make
Nice.
like bigger ones or something like that, because as it is right now, I have to swap them out when I'm using them, which isn't really a big deal. It's just as annoying to me. But for right now, it's fine because it holds 50 or 60. So I'm not usually using more than 50 or 60 at a time, anyways. So yeah, it was delightful. I had to change all the cords because I have, different power has to be on different power and different connections run into different computer in the back of it. So we have some special chargers in the back so it doesn't blow our power, and so I had to move everything around. So that's what I was doing this morning. It's
Wouldn't that be
running.
nice to have it where you could have all your phones and
Yeah.
then where you could just do like a toggle and go like, I want to use this phone, this phone, this phone,
Well,
this one down on that.
that's what we can do now. We can do
Oh,
that right now, but we can only do it with 50 or 60, and I want to do it with all of them, which would
yeah.
mean we cannot do it at our house, which is
Mm,
fine. We can do it in office, but we have to have a stand made. And right now I'm probably not going to do that. So,
yeah. All right.
yeah.
And
Interesting.
this method works you're doing now.
Yeah, it works really good. I mean, we onboarded 50 clients on the 27th, and we got past the update, which was last week, and we did see a decrease on the day that it was updating, and the next day, and then on the third day, the rankings came back to where they were.
Mm, mm.
So, yeah.
Nice.
But so I'm actually trying to get a bad review off a GMB, and my theory is if you hit it with all of the phones at one time with a location base, so like say that we're just gonna say Dallas, if they're all in Dallas reporting one review, like 50 or 60 phones, it probably should come off rather quickly. So that's kind of what we're testing now. We're not making people reviews. We're not taking orders for reviews. We're not using them for reviews at all, unless like removing negative ones.
Yeah. That sounds like a good plan not to do the reviews, considering some of the FCC
Yeah.
current. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And actually, we haven't. We've only been trying to remove 2 of them, and both of the properties are ones that we have done business with, and so it's not like I'm not going against any rules or anything like that. So
Right,
I just
right.
want to see if it works. If
I
it
see.
does, it's cool. If it doesn't, it's cool because we're using them for other things than reviews, anyways.
All right. Well, keep us updated. Kind of excited to hear some of the stuff. Hey, I'm just going to remind everybody, like, subscribe, follow, whatever platform you're listening on. Put your questions in the chat so we can get to them. And I guess anything is on the table, whatever you want to ask about. I threw out the concept today to discuss, which is around networking. Only because like a week ago, I was at SEO Rockstars, going to, I know, Craig, you were just coming back from a couple of different conferences last week as well. And I know there's a lot of friends that we have that are probably there already, actually, out in Chiang Mai at the Chiang Mai conference. I've seen some crazy shots already of that. So networking, seems, I don't know, kind of timely right now. Anyway, thinking about how you network within the industry and how you can do that in various shapes or forms. I mentioned all of these conferences because I think that's a great methodology to get out there and network with folks. But so I'll kick off a question. I almost called her Kathy, like my wife. I don't know. I've talked to my wife like 3 times on the phone since I've been in the office today. Like, oh my gosh. Um, from a networking, Holly, when you go to conferences, what's your approach for do you go with the mindset of like, I want to network, or do you just like, I just want to say hi to the friends I know and like,
I generally just want, in most cases, I should say, which is generally, I go to hang out with my friends. I rarely go to actually listen to the speakers unless there's someone I really want to listen to. Just a simple fact. I mean, like Steve Toth, I've actually gone to a conference just to listen to Steve Toth. So there are a few people where I will fly in specifically to listen to them, but then I'm going to hang out with my friends the rest of the time. And it's not because I don't respect any of the speakers, because I do, but it's just that they do things differently than I do, and I'm not going to change what I'm going to do. And it kind of causes a little bit of a rabbit hole for me if I start to sit in and I listen to something and I'm like, oh, well, why can't we do it this way? Because I'm not really using it in my business now. So I'm not going to. So I will sit in there, but I'm usually working. I have headphones on, and then, we'll network at the breaks and stuff. I'm not. I mean, Randy, you guys both know that when that conference ends, like at 5, I'm in my room at 5:05. I don't like. Yeah, if you're lucky to get me to stay down there, like I must like you or something, because I don't. I like to have my space. Yeah, go to conference, go back to my room, and hang out and chill. So unless it's something like, I will do research on the people that are coming, and if there's somebody who I want to talk to, then I'll
really?
make a point to talk to that person right away, so I don't have
Yeah.
to like hang out for 3 days. I'm not going to do that. It's going to annoy me.
I think that's a good ploy, Randy. Like, I don't think you can wildly just go to a conference with no real thought process. Like, I've got friends that will come to a conference and they're like, Craig, I need you to introduce me to this person, that person, because I want to know. I've seen something about those and I want to know more about what they do. And that's the only reason they're there, is to, nail that person. And, for me, I think that's a very good strategy. Like Holly says, if there's someone you want to talk to, go do it. It's about getting that one or two things. It's not
Yeah.
always just listening to the speakers, because
Yeah.
as you're experienced in the space, how many times can you hear someone talking about fucking GMB stuff, or whatever it may
Right.
be? It becomes monotonous. So I think that the networking part is kind of key. For me anyway.
I think those are 2 really good tactics to employ when you're going to conferences for networks. Love the idea about researching on some of the people, like, and as well, if you even knew some of the people that were attending, right? I think is good, but certainly the speakers, like, hey, here's a few of the speakers, and then targeting in your head. I want to be sure that I get in front and meet them. As an example, I did that. Like, I'd never met, I've never even really looked at Joy Hawkins. I don't know if you're familiar with her at all. Um, she presented at SEO Rockstars, and like going there, I'm like, I got to be sure I want to say hey, get to know her, talk with her a little bit, connect. And so that was kind of on my radar, definitely. Like, I for sure want to. And so we connect. I'm actually going to have her, she's going to be on my show. Not until January is what a date that worked out for her. But, and I think that'll be pretty good. But I love that idea about kind of picking your target, so to speak. Like, I want to talk with this person. The other thing, Craig, you mentioned is like, hey, if you don't know, if you're a little bashful, like, find somebody that could help introduce you to them, right? Man, I don't know that I've ever taken that approach. I usually just go up and like, hey, how you doing? You know, the affable bald guy they usually feel fairly comfortable in talking to. So
It's also different. So I was talking to Elder, who I was with in Milan there a few days back, and
yeah.
there's a slight difference. So the conferences that happen in America, for example, spring training and you know the Terry's event and whatnot,
Mm.
are not as big as some of the other conferences. Like, so if I go to Affiliate World, there's 6,000 people there. If I go to Chiang Mai, there's like 800 people there. If I go to somewhere else in Europe, there's 3, 4, 5,000 people there. Even another event I was at last week in Malta had 27,000 people there.
Oh
So
my gosh, seriously.
yeah.
Wow.
So the problem, like Terry's event, I feel is easier to network because you're
Yeah.
in the hotel, you can go out the back, you have your dinner, you can work round the people that are there, and that's manageable. You can spot out people and do that. It's when you go to something where there's 500 or 1,000 or 10,000, then it's like finding a needle in a haystack when you really
Yeah.
have to become, how the fuck am I need to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Now, also the one and the reason I mentioned this, it's just another tactic. The 27,000 conference, I was asked to speak there 2 years ago, and it was great. You're hoping by speaking, people are going to come to you. Sometimes they can't because it's just too busy
Right.
and all that
Right.
stuff.
Right.
So what we've done this time is we created an event, a side event, to try and lure, because it's a gambling conference. Not everyone's an SEO person. So this is the other problem when you go to a conference of that size. There could be, paid guys, there's whatever there.
Right.
How the hell do we get the 50 or 100 guys that we want to talk to into one room? So we created a mastermind, lured those people to a hotel with some food, some drinks, and some some content. So again, that was a strategy where we go, well, we can either go and try and fish out
Mm.
the guys we want to talk to among 27,000 people, or we fucking do something else to try and get
Mhm.
to us.
Mhm.
So, whilst you wouldn't do that at like spring training, because there's no need to do that, you
Right.
want to go
Right.
and enjoy the community. When it does become bigger, you have to think tactically. How am I going to speak to people? How am I going to come away from this with value?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's, information, whether it's selling something, whether it's whatever your goal is to go to the event. These are things that you have to consider, and not every
Mhm.
event is condensed. Like, I
Right.
like the size of Solterra. I really do like that size because it's comfortable. You get to have an opportunity to speak to everyone. That's what
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
about the bigger events, because you see that there are people there and you didn't even know they were there, and you're like, "Fuck! I
Yeah.
wish I
Yeah.
had a chance to speak to them."
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so like SEO spring training, I don't know, you get roughly 150 people or so, we'll say, go to that. Yeah, that's a lot easier to kind of navigate the room and go to see people and doing that. Man, 27,000. So let me ask you, was that, so when you saying we or whatever, was that the organizers helped you do that, or did you just say like, hey, I'm going to do this and I want the organizers to kind of help promote or announce that we're going to do this? Or how did that work?
I've got a friend who offers services to gambling clients. Now, he knows the type of people he wants there to
Right.
sell his things to.
Right.
He used me on the mastermind to try and lure attendees there, because people go, "Oh, there's Craig, I want to
Mm,
hear him." So
mm.
we used me and a few others to bring people to the mastermind. So I'm there. He wants me to be there to use my following to get
Right.
people to that
Right.
mastermind. So that was his overall strategy: is let's try something different because this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and so yeah, that's what we've done. And
How many did you get there? How many came?
maybe 80, 100. I don't know, maybe probably about
Wow.
80 to 100. So
Yeah.
it worked very, very well, and that was the top level people that he wanted to bring there. You know, it was just the guys that he wanted to get into that room. He got into the room, and he made it happen.
So did he invite them specifically? I'm just kind of curious. I love this idea, and I think you're right. You know, doing it, say, like at a spring training or rock stars. I mean, that's no point of doing that. But I think, like, I want to get out and do some other larger events. You know, it's on my list for 2025. And speaking of which, Holly, I don't know if you saw or got the email. They canceled traffic and conversion for 2025.
Really?
Yeah, they're not doing it. They're putting it, they're blending it with affiliate summit and whatever else, another secondary, tertiary group that they're doing. So it's all going to be just one that's going to be in February.
Of next year? No, that's
Yeah,
not February.
Of 2025. Yeah.
Of 2025?
Of 20. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So I had
affiliate world or affiliate.
Oh, that's an affiliate summit. Yeah. This is affiliate summit West in Las Vegas. So anyway,
Okay.
but those conferences, Craig, are bigger. I don't know how many were at traffic and conversion last year, but I'm guessing like 500, 1,000 or something like that.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, it had to have been at least 1,000.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with those this is my problem with the big conferences, like Matt Diggity's is probably one of the biggest. I've gone to a crypto one. And when you're asked to be on to speak, Craig, I'm sure you have this same problem. When you're done speaking, you try to get off stage because you have to use the bathroom. And there's absolutely no way that you can get to the bathroom until the next speaker starts. And then there's a line that forms. And then if you can get into the hallway to use the bathroom, the line follows you to the bathroom. Yeah. I mean, this happened. So I've been in Chiang Mai twice, and both times it's happened. And it's not only happened there, it's happened at a couple other conferences that I've had people like that want to ask questions about CTR or the phones or something.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a good problem to have, right? People want to ask questions and they want to get your information and they want to get services from you. It's a good problem to have. But at the same time, I don't like big conferences at all. It's too busy for me. I like anything that's under 200 people, even 150 people. 200 is pretty busy for me. But yeah.
But what I would say as well, if you're looking around, Randy, and you look at Chiang Mai, so Chiang Mai is actually only on for 2 days. The real full,
I know,
big thing. A lot of people go out there and they'll have their own little mastermind or their own little segmented little events. If you want to learn more about On Page, Kyle Roof or whoever it may be, will rent a pub out and get people over there to obviously promote On Page and Pop or whatever. There's link building ones. There's fucking, I think I actually seen Matt Diggity. I think it was yesterday or the day before, he put up a post saying there's at least 40 other events surrounding Shanghai.
Yeah, I saw something like that. Yeah, crazy.
So it clearly works. And like Holly says, not everyone comes to an event to see all the speakers. Like there'll be one that, where that fits in with what you're doing. No disrespect to other speakers, but if Holly's doing what she does she want to hear someone talking about how they grew their agency? Absolutely not. It's not relevant to her. No disrespect to the guy, but or whoever it may be. That's just the way it is. But that's where I think branching off into those side events, you can get to the right people that you want to talk to. So out of the 800 people that go to Chiang Mai, there's probably 50 that want to do what Holly's doing. So you can get off and all network and share ideas, and then Holly goes, my mind's fucking blown here. I've got 50 like-minded crazy people like me, and let's do some business or whatever. And I think that's the real thing that you have to consider when you go to these events. Look at the sideline events and all that stuff, or create one. It's
I've done that before. I flew out to some events And then I had a 1-day private mastermind for 6 to 8 hours, and it's like $500, whatever, and just pays for the room and the food and stuff like that. Because I pull you in to ask questions, and then I usually can close most of the room. I'm sure Craig, Randy, you're the same way. You can close people in person a lot easier than closing them when they're online or at home.
Yeah.
So, if the bigger ones like Spring Training and like Rockstars, Vid Summit, ones like that, I will put a post out just 2 weeks before, and I'll say, I'm coming here. I'm just looking for 10 people just to mastermind with or talk, shop with. Whatever you're going to talk about is fine. It's just the $500 fee. And I almost always will close up on that. And so to me, I get more business sense. I don't want to say business sense. I get more input on my business in a room of 10 people than a room of 30 or 100 people, because you only have 45 minutes to speak. It's not enough time.
Right.
Not at all.
So I have a question for you. What would you advise? So I am going to Affiliate Summit West. All right. So Las Vegas, February something. I'm guessing this will be, I don't know. I've never been to it. I really don't even know much about it. Aside from, what their website is. I'm assuming they'll probably, being that they're trying to drive everybody that had registered for traffic and conversion to go to Affiliate Summit West or East. But so we'll say there's going to be 1,000 people there, probably more than that. How would you suggest that I could do some of these tactics? Well, I don't know anybody who's putting on the conference. Like if I asked Terry, like, hey, I'd want to do this at spring training, Terry would help me out and make an announcement or do something. So I love your idea, Craig, about like doing a breakout or something like that. How would I be able to strategically do that? Or not strategically, but actually pragmatically pull that together?
Some event organizers wouldn't give you the time of day. They don't want you.
I know.
They really don't want you to be doing that. It's their event.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You're creating all this fucking bullshit all round about it. The attention's supposed to be in the event. So are they likely to do it? Now, I think Diggity
Probably.
does kinda, there's other events on and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think, you really have to use your own initiative, use your own lists or social following and stuff like that. Or club together with a couple other bigger names that are going. And combined, you could say to Holly and you could say to whoever, Molino, I'm just throwing his name out there. Guys, we want to do a mastermind together. Let's lure some people over and do it and leverage all of your following. So, that's why the guy took me to Malta to do that. He wanted to use me to be able to do, Sigma were not going to put that shit out there.
Yeah.
So,
But you didn't do a mastermind with 80 people. It was more like a social, like, hey, come together. We're going to do drinks and some hors d'oeuvres or something. And, and come. Did he?
No, there was presentations and questions and
all
of that shit. Yeah.
Well, he was doing presentations though, right?
I was just answering questions that people wanted to ask. Yeah. But he's obviously going to present on the benefits of his things. Yeah.
So Randy, I took a different approach when I first started off in this. 2014. And it has really worked for me. If I want to talk to someone, so I will get in the Facebook groups and I'll do a little bit of research of, say my I don't want to meet like 20 people, right? I'm going to meet between 5 and 10 people, and that's good, right? That's more than enough for me. So I actually will reach out and try to get their addresses. And I have sent drones to people. I've sent grappa to people. I've sent Christmas presents that and I don't put my name on it. And so I will wait for them to start posting, because it all derives at the same day. I'll wait for them to start posting pictures, and they'll be like, who sent me this? This is awesome. So I send something that's awesome, right? I don't send a notebook. I don't send like a Stanley. I send something that they're like, holy crap. Like, this is awesome. And then after they do that, I will tag them in a post, or I will message them and say, hey, I sent it to you. I want to have 10 minutes of your time. I'm going to be at Affiliate Summit. Do you think that we can have a real quick 10-minute conversation? Every single one of them have said yes. And the caveat to that is I always pick up the bill. So
sure.
I will invite, if I have 10 people, they say yes, all 10 of us will go.
Yeah.
And it might be a $2,000 bill, but out of that $2,000, I know I'm going to make like 10. So I don't care about paying two, right?
Yeah.
And I know you're the same way, and I know Craig's the same way on that too. So, but I'll make them create the buzz for me. I will send them something. It might be $100 for each thing. Like this Christmas, I'm sending some things out to my friends just to create a buzz about it. So, like, it's not that hard to get someone's address, and then just
I can hardly wait. That'll be nice.
But like, you're letting them do the social for you, because they're like, who sent me this? And all you have to, just start following them, and then follow the friends that they're on.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what I did, and it has worked. And I've done it a few times, and it's worked really good.
Yeah. I like the idea. I like what Craig was saying as well. Like, I'm thinking I might try to do this maybe at Affiliate Summit, where I might like do get a breakout room or something at either at that place or a different hotel or that's connected right there, and then just invite people. Hey, come! I'll have cocktails, a little cocktail hour. Kind of thing. Invite, because if there's 1,000 people there, I would hey, there's got to be 50 to 100 that might be interested or want to learn about press releases or something. So I just got to figure out how to communicate that to all of these folks. Jumping into Facebook groups, I think, is a good idea.
Man, now I'm gonna have to buy a ticket for it. I really wanted to go to one of the affiliate summits, so.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Affiliate summits. Affiliate Summit
doing the
West.
VIP, or you did the networking?
I did the VIP, whatever the middle one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a chat with the missus and tell her I'm going.
I know Dan Kurtz is going to that one as well. So
There's a good question here, Randy. From Isan. As a beginner in SEO, how do you start a conversation with someone who's got experience? I've not been to networking events, but I've reached out to a few SEO professionals, and whenever I mention I'm a beginner, they would just ghost me. Not that I'm laughing at that, but I would be curious to hear your input first, and then I'll give mine, because I kind of understand why you would be ghosted to some degree. Because
so it depends. Like, if a newbie, I get them all the time. I get like 50 messages a day, and if you message me, hey, what's up? I'm not going to answer you. I don't have time for, hey, what's up? Like, get to your point, and I will answer your question. And don't make it a story, like a wall of text. Ask your question. I will answer the question, and don't re-ask the question with the same question but different words. I hate that's the biggest problem, right? Yeah. So ask your question. I'm fine. I'm going to answer it, but don't start your, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? No, not going to answer it.
Yeah, I have to tell you, Hassan, that's a good question. And I think Holly is right on the mark with it. That is truth. I think most people, I probably, regardless of how big, of a name they are or experience, but if you just would introduce, like, I'm Hassan, fairly new in SEO. Love your stuff. Holly, I have a question for you, right? So just like boom, 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 boom. Here's my question. Generally, I would think that they're probably, Holly, myself, Craig would probably like, okay, I'm just going to go answer. I'm not looking for new friends, so to speak. So don't try to introduce yourself like, hey, you're going to be my new best buddy, because that's, that is not going to work. So don't go to what Holly was saying. Don't go into a big lengthy, explanation or whatever, or don't start out like, hey, and then, not leave and wait for me to respond, because that's not going to work either. I never respond to how are you doing? And I never respond to those things. So I would be just very direct, very short. And I think my guess is your success rate of getting an answer will be much higher.
Yeah, that was going to be what I was going to say. It's all about cutting the bullshit out. We all get bombarded with bullshit all day, every day. Cut straight to the point. People will help you. Even telling someone you're a beginner, no one cares if you're a beginner or an experienced person. If you've got something to ask, tell them. We don't need to know that you're a beginner. You're giving them the opportunity just to ghost you because they're like, I can't be bothered with fucking, rookie questions. And that's just the reality of it. I don't mean to be mean, but, if someone wants to talk to me about title tags, I'd probably run the other way. Do some research is what I would say to someone trying to learn that stuff, and then come and ask me something that warrants a real answer. Terry says hello, dear.
That never gets like delete, block.
But yeah, also just I had it up, but Terry does have spring training 2025. It's getting officially announced May the 1st to the 4th in Arizona. Just as we're talking about events, it is top notch. I'm not going to say any more other than that. I don't know if I'm allowed to or not, but yeah. But I'm going to.
I'm assuming that he's announcing on Friday is the full speakers slate of speakers, so that will be good. Yeah,
I'm going to be there anyway. Fuck it. That's just a teaser. But looking forward to going back. I like Arizona. I like the weather.
That's nice. They do a great job of hosting that conference. So that was a good conference.
Craig, you need to come to Camp SEO in July.
Yeah, well, I tell you, when are you going to do this thing? I told you to you got to throw some dates. I missed out on the deal, I think, in the campground, like buy a night, get a night free or something. So
yeah, I think we have to wait till the first of the year before we can make reservations anyways. I think around July 20th though. Did those dates work for you last time?
I don't know what that. I have to go look.
Send me the weeks that don't work for you.
I mean, I just came out and I just made it work for me because it was your birthday. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just go make it work. So July 20th, that's a Saturday. Yeah. Generally over a weekend. If I came out on a Friday through Sunday, Monday, I can generally kind of make those work. I don't know. My wife hasn't told me we're going on vacation on any specific at this point. So.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have the exact, but Craig, you're going to come out to Camp SEO, right?
If the dates work, I don't think I've got anything scheduled for July, so that could work. But
we're gonna sleep in a tent. In tents, Craig. I'll bring a tent for you.
I ain't fucking sleeping in no tent, man. I'm sleeping in a hotel around the corner, dude.
You won't be sleeping in the hotel that's there. No, you won't.
Dude, if I have to fucking hire a car and drive 30 miles into I don't give a fuck. I am going in a real bed, man. Like, I need sleep.
There's cabins. There's 4 cabins, so I'll try to get all the cabins this time. But it depends upon the dates of the like what's going on for the activities. So I'll let you guys know probably after the first of the year.
Yeah, quick business. Yeah, because there's no conferences. At least I don't have any conferences I have this conferences spreadsheet that I put together for dates and everything. I don't have anything listed for June or July, so that would be,
But Holly, just in case you want to scratch off SEO spring training, Dooley's coming. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Oh man, I think that'll be awesome. I would love
he's a good guy. I'm only kidding, but he's
Dooley's great.
I hope he brings an interpreter.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking about that. Like, I have been around him a lot, and I can understand the first 2 words and the last 2 words, and that's it.
Mm,
So
yeah,
His accent is way worse than
it's
mine.
so strong.
it's solid. Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah.
All right, so back on this thing with networking. So we talked about going to conferences, which I think is a great way, and other means of networking. I mean, I will tell you, another that I think works well. You really got to work it in a bit of a different strategy, though, is on social media. You ever put that into play, either of you?
Absolutely. Um, you know, on the likes of Instagram and stuff like that, you can put yourself out there within a mile radius of the conference venue. You can hone in on those people. Can you put yourself or your message or your
Mm,
whatever to that very targeted audience? Absolutely. And that's something I've done before. Actually, I done it last year. We were looking for a digital PR person. And we went to Brighton SEO where there's 3,000 or 4,000 people that go. And we're like, fuck, this is going to be like finding a needle in a haystack. How can't you just walk up to 3,000? Do you do digital PR? Do you want to come and work for us? So,
mhm,
we put up some social media ads saying we're looking for someone, reach out, send us a DM, we can meet up for a coffee. And it worked fairly well,
mm,
in all honesty. So, yeah, using social media and stuff we wanted those people to come and talk to us rather than us trying to
right.
find, because that's just hard work.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. How about you, Holly? You ever use social media to try to network and connect?
I mean, really the only time I do is like I'm like, hey, I'm coming here, I'm bringing phones or whatever if you want. You know what I mean? Just
Mm,
yeah. I mean, I do, but I kind of like when I'm at the airport and stuff, I'll tag myself there. Um, but I never put where I'm going to. Actually, I do put where I'm staying. I don't usually put where I'm going to eat. Everyone's like, "Where are you going to eat?" I'm like, I don't know. I usually end
mm,
up ordering
mm,
food.
mhm,
But yeah, I
mhm.
mean, I just use Facebook more or less, though. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I was thinking, so this is one of the things that I do when I'm thinking about networking. So as separate from conferences, right? So, but if there's somebody similarly where we've talked like, hey, I'd like to meet that person, I may go, I like using Twitter and Facebook probably the most. Um, I'll follow, I'll make comments on their posts, like, oh, that's a great idea, or wow, that's solid, or whatever, right? Add some commentary to it. And then after we kind of play that dance for a few weeks or so, then I may do a direct message to them to try to connect. If I have generally don't hit them up with an ask right away, like, hey, enjoyed stuff you're doing or whatever. And here's me kind of thing. You ever do that? I don't, Craig, you probably never have to do that shit anymore at all. But
no, I don't. But you've got to do what you've got to do.
I mean, like, when I wanted to sit down with Steve Toth, and I found out he was at the Mastermind, like I started engaging in conversation and following his LinkedIn and stuff like that.
mhm,
And
mhm,
then maybe like the week before the mastermind, I messaged him and just was like, if you have time, uh, if us two can sit down together. And like, you never sit down at the event. You never do because you never can have a conversation, just you two. You have to go somewhere else. Like,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care. Red Robin, Roadhouse, the bar, whatever. I just want to talk to you for 10 minutes without someone around. So wherever you want to go is I'll pick up the tab. Just we need to go somewhere than the
mm,
the, the venue. So yeah, I mean I'll do that. So
mhm.
but I
When
don't
you,
I'm not like like I think a lot of people they're so excited to meet you that they are a little bit overboard. And for some people, maybe that's okay. But if you're aggressively messaging me and you want to get together, like after the second message, it is not going to happen. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, if we make a time and you say, hey, let's meet up, and I'm like, okay, let's, I don't know always what I have going on. So we will meet up, but let's do it on on Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon doesn't mean message me 6 times and ask me what time Friday afternoon is. Friday afternoon is I'll message you. I mean, and I don't like, people are overly aggressive in that sense. And I think it's because you're so excited. So like, I felt that when I wanted to meet Steve, I wanted to be like, hey, I wanted a time right now. Like, give me a time.
Right,
But I
right.
understand that he had stuff going on. And so you know what I mean? So I had to stay in that lane of my own rules. And it was hard.
Right.
But yeah, if you are aggressively messaging me, no, it's not happening.
Yeah,
Now, one of the things that I do. Oh, sorry, Craig. Go ahead.
I was going to say, sometimes you want to go to an event and you don't want to commit to, I've got a 1 o'clock, a 2 o'clock, a 3 o'clock.
Right.
Well, you're just like, fuck it, I'm going to meet one guy. And once I'm finished with that, I'll maybe shoot you a message and I'll catch up with other people. But yeah, people always try and nail you for an exact time. And you're like,
yeah,
I'm not fucking doing that. I'm here to chill as well. And if I've got time, I'll meet you. But don't try and nail me to an exact time. I'll message you when I'm ready. And because I might go and meet Holly, for example, and the conversation's really good, and that might be 3 hours. Like, and I don't want to waste. We could be doing 5 business deals. Am I going to run away and meet someone where I might get nothing? When I could, you just don't know what's going on. So you've got to kind of go with the flow, if that makes sense. And I don't mean to be ignorant or whatever, but again, if I'm meeting Holly and we can do some collaboration or whatever it may be, and that discussion takes 4 hours, then I'm just not going to meet anyone else. If that's where the knowledge and potential money's at.
Yeah. One of the things that I always do, I still do it. I did it even at coming back from Rockstars, is that I generally, even friends, right, that I see, generally, I always send a direct message, and usually through Facebook, just saying, hey, it was great to see you, or, I loved connecting with you again. Or if they were a speaker, I'm like, man, I really appreciated what you shared. That was great. Anything like that. But I usually try to continue to make that connection after the event as well, just to kind of keep that, even if it only is there to kind of connect us via the social channel, but as well, just like, hey, remember this guy over here. I think tends to work well.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you just need to be mindful you're not harassing people. That's the bottom line. No one.
Building the network is so critical, though. I don't know that you can really underestimate the value of that. Building that network, building a good reputation within that network, I think is absolutely critical. And I know, Craig, you and I have talked about this, in various times or forums even, but, just like the importance of being solid, reliable, do what you say you're going to do kind of thing, and like demonstrate that through your network is incredibly valuable. And give. I just think you got to give to people.
Randy, and I'm going to just be fucking honest. If I feel I'm surrounded by people who are just taking and sponging me for everything, then they're going to fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm not handing it all on a plate. Like, give me something. Something. I don't care what it is, but if I feel you're just a taker, my guard goes completely back up, and it'll just not be that great, And I love helping new people. I'm not saying a new person don't approach me because you don't have any value, but at least show me something like that you're willing to learn, or something that would make me want to help you, rather than just these leeches that are out there, that want to take everything you've got and run with it, and then probably stab you in the back saying you're a cunt at the same time. Try and offer some value up front, and and I think that's what a lot of people will look at and then respond to. If you feel there's kind of open dialogue and people are giving up a bit, you're probably going to open up as well.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, it's difficult because some people are shy as well. They'll be like, "But I'm shy and I don't know, I don't want to." But I do think you have to up your game and offer something.
Up the game. This is good. I'm looking forward to Terry on Friday for the speaker announcement for spring training. I think I got a teaser with probably 2 of them already. So
yeah. I couldn't even tease you anymore. I have no clue who else is going, but interesting to see who's on there, who I'm going to see for maybe people that I've not seen before, and hopefully people that I've come across and get to catch up with them again.
I'm thinking about setting the slot in my calendar to go to William Jones' event, World of Search, I think is what he calls it, in the Philippines.
Yeah,
I think I've got it slotted for September. I think I might be there. You coming, Craig?
Absolutely not. Not for any other. It's an amazing event, by the way, an absolutely amazing event, to be clear. But that flight is fucking horrific. Fucking horrific. Holly will probably get me, because I know Holly's not too keen on flying as well to that side of the world, because I think after I met Holly years ago in Chiang Mai, I'm pretty almost sure she said, "I'm never coming here again." I don't think I think it was the
never coming there again.
I feel the same about the Philippines. Chiang Mai is doable. The Philippines is just that bit extra on top. You're just like,
dude, your flight can't be that long from the UK.
Dude, it's 20 hours. Philippines is fucking miles away.
Really? It's about 27 for us. For me. Yeah.
It's really bad for us. Like, I mean, 27 is even worse, but
coming home is worse because you have a 13-hour. Well, I had a 13-hour layover, so coming home is way worse. Although I just got I don't know. We were in one of those airports that you could have like a room and a bed and a shower. So I did that. But yeah, it was. Love Jonesy. We'll never go to that part of the world again. And I asked Matt Diggity, I was like, do not ever invite me back. I will come back if you invite me. Please don't invite me back. Yeah. It's too hard. You have to go for 2 weeks. I have problems with jet lag when I go, because, you have to go, it's not like you fly to the UK, you fly backward. Right. And I don't fly very well that way. So I get really sick. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to go. I have so many staff team members there now in the Philippines, so it kind of makes I'll go. And
I mean, for you, it makes perfect sense and stuff like that. But I don't have staff. I mean, I have a couple of VAs there, but I'm like, yeah, you can come to me. I'm not coming to you.
Yeah. Well, if I go, I'll take your VAs out. I'll poach them.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I wish he would just move to have that in London or even Canada. I mean,
even Canada. That's not even.
What, you want it all in your own fucking doorstep? You might as well just bring it to fucking your place.
Even Canada. Yeah.
Dude, I'm just saying, if it stop doing it over there. I understand why you do it over there, because they're huge conferences over there, and there's so many VAs that go to it.
Yeah.
How many people went? So Craig, you were there at Jonesy's in September. How many attended that thing? How many folks were there?
Is it like 700?
I don't know if there was many 700. Certainly, it was big.
500?
Maybe I don't know. I would have probably said about 200-300, but I could be wrong. I was fucking jet lagged and I didn't even as much. I was too busy talking shit. But I mean, it was full. Like, it was a big conference, but
Yeah.
it wasn't as big as Chiang Mai. I would have probably said probably said maybe 200 or 300, but I'm not sure.
All right.
But it was fun. Like once you get there, it was well put on, professional.
Yeah.
Speakers. Like they had massage chairs. It was good.
It looked awesome. Like the setup, the lights, it looked like a really good professional conference. But I'm not going over to Asia ever again.
Yeah. Well, I know Mad Singers has got one over there as well.
I know it kills me.
In Vietnam. Yeah, in Vietnam. Yeah.
That's a killer flight.
Is that even farther? Is that even further than?
It's further. Well, okay, I don't think it's further, but you have to take more flights.
Oh,
I'm going to that one though, Randy.
Oh, you're going to Mads? This is in March, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had not considered going to his because it was the same time as the traffic and conversion. But now that thing just got booted, I might I'm back to maybe as a possibility. But I don't even know. I might not even be able to get there. I'd have to ask Mads to give me a favor and get me a ticket because I think he puts a cap on his, and I think they sold out already.
Shoot my message.
Speaker.
Yeah.
Message, but
Mads will be at spring training again. Good. All right. Oh, another leak. Terry's just leaking out the crumbs.
Just give me.
Yeah, come on, Terry, bring it. Just spill the tea. Yeah. My daughter says that's the slang in the high school girls. Spill the tea. Come on. Yeah.
God, that's funny. Funny. But,
so you're going to go there for that one, huh?
All right. I'm going to Australia though. So I had agreed to speak in Australia, and Mads then seen Craig. You might as well stop off in Vietnam on the way over there. And I'm like, sure, fuck it. If I'm going out there, I'm killing off a few birds with one stone. After that,
Wow.
Say. I'm not looking forward to it already. But it's another one ticked off the box. I've not been to Vietnam, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, that one. So when you talk about wonderful shows, conferences, and the venues and what have you, just in looking at some of the images that Mads puts out in regards to his, it was like, wow, that looks really nice. Yeah,
I think he does put on a good event. Like,
I think he goes out and does it well. All right, here's a question from Jude. You can pop that one up there, Craig. How would you say an introvert would manage at these events?
Like we're all introverted.
I have to be honest with you. You guys probably wouldn't think this, but I really am an introvert.
I don't think so. I think that you are not.
Oh, no, I am. When I go to these conferences, there's at least one night that I just have to okay, I can't do anything. I need to go back to my safe space and because being out and doing all of that is, it's hard for me to push myself out there.
I don't fucking buy that, Randy.
I'm serious.
I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit on that.
I'm serious. Yeah.
But you hide it very well. That's all I'll say.
It's I think you got to push through your comfort level.
You're like a 5% introverted. We'll give you that 5%. Okay.
So back to Jude's question: how would an introvert would manage at these events?
Absolutely fine.
I think you would be fine. And Jude, I would just say is like push yourself through it, right? Uh, you just got to. I think you'll be fine, and you don't have to be, like Craig and tell great stories all the time and whatever. Just be genuine. I think, right? Try to connect with people one on one. I think is a good way to do it.
These events are full of people like yourself, Jude, that
Yeah, yeah,
are like that. Like Holly, I mean, I wouldn't say she's an introvert, but Holly likes her own space. Holly goes to her bed early. Holly doesn't drink. She's not on stage dancing, whoa, 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 and all that stuff. Very quiet, likes to go out for no, but yeah, I'm serious. Like goes out for a meal.
I
And,
know. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely, that these are things that you can do, and she's not an outrageous party animal. Whereas there's other people who are, doing their jigging around on stage and doing all sorts of weird and crazy shit, which is fun. If you like that shit, go chill with them. And there's other people sitting in a corner smoking the shit out of weed. So whatever, there's a whole bunch of different types there.
Yeah.
But be under no illusion. I think 80%, if not more, of this industry are very, very much like yourself, Jude. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, don't worry, Jude. You'll be fine at these events. You will be fine. Yeah.
So yeah. Do it, Jude. But we are. Oh, make a list of who you want to meet. Yeah, Terry's saying make a list of what topics you want to learn and who you want to meet. So, additional advice there from an event organizer himself.
Yeah. That's solid, man. That is solid. Have a strategy. I always think going to these events, you really do have to have a strategy. Think about who you want to talk about or talk to. What do you want to talk about? I think that's all good. Yeah. Have a strategy. Who do you want to meet? Yep.
Yeah.
And if you have an idea, generally on my flights over, I generally kind of build that list and I'm like, hey, I want to talk to Craig and this is what I want to talk to him about.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm kind of like building this out. So I already in my mind, I know that I'm setting my assignment, so to speak, so that I can execute it when I'm there.
Absolutely. That is definitely the goal.
Yeah.
But that is us for another day. But do, before you go, like and subscribe in the channel.
Yep.
Leave a comment below if you're watching it later on. And check out the news guy. The link is below.
And yes, thank you. Yes, come check me out. So Nigel has a question in here about, hey, when are you announcing Black Friday deals? Actually, I want to pre-sell next week on the show, Monday, this time slot. We're going to reveal and walk through Black Friday deals. Craig has got a page on his site. We're going to walk through and review all of those Black Friday deals.
Yes.
Should be fun. Yeah. So Nigel, look for next Monday.
We'll see what we can muster up between all of our pages, and we'll hopefully have some good deals for everyone.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. My best deal ever.
Really?
I love it, Craig.
I have heard Randy off air saying, I'm still fulfilling Black Friday deals like fucking in June the following year.
I know.
So it is.
Yeah. It's all fun.
But yes.
All right, there we go. So next week, folks, be with us next week. It's going to be good. Going to be big. Monster.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have a good one, everyone.
Yeah.